Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today for Grace with Paul Gray. Last week we talked a lot about inspiration and expiration. We learned that the Holy Spirit always inspires. This week we're going to kind of continue a little bit along the same theme as we talk about light and darkness. Light being inspiration, of course. In John 1, verses 4, 5, and 9, John tells us about who Jesus really is, and among other things, Jesus is life and light. He says, life came into being because of Jesus, for his life is light for all humanity. And this living expression is the light that bursts through the gloom, the light that darkness could not diminish. The light of truth was about to come into the world and enlighten everyone. And certainly Jesus' light has burst through the gloom in many of us, and will eventually, I believe, in everyone. Jesus, God himself, is light. He is the light of the world, and he is in everyone, and he enlightens everyone. In Revelation 21:23, it says this, "And the city, New Jerusalem, has no need of the sun nor of the moon to give light to it, for the glory or the splendor or the radiance of God has illumined it. And Jesus is the lamp and the light." Now, Revelation is a story, a play written in code. It's all allegory. But the indication here is that Jesus is the one who enlightens everything and everyone. And one day, we won't have need of the sun or the moon or anything else, because Jesus will enlighten everything and everyone. Jesus talked a lot about light and darkness. To him, darkness wasn't necessarily evil. It can be evil, but it was being in the dark, not being enlightened, not knowing the truth, literally not knowing what we're doing. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. In Luke 10:22-24, Jesus says, "Father, you have entrusted me with all that you are and all that you have. No one fully knows the Son except the Father, and no one fully knows the Father except the Son. But the Son is able to introduce and reveal the Father to anyone he chooses." Revelation is light. In Ephesians 1, Paul prays this. He says, "I pray that the light of God will illuminate the eyes of your imagination, flooding you with light until you experience the full revelation of the hope of his calling. That is the wealth of God's glorious inheritance that he finds in us, his holy ones. You are the Holy One of God." Paul goes on to say, "I pray that you will continually experience the immeasurable greatness of God's power made available to you through faith, the faith of Christ. Then your lives will be an advertisement of this immense power as it works through you. This is the mighty power that was released when God raised Christ from the dead." In Matthew 5:14-16, and in Luke 11, Jesus says this. Here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God's not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. No one would think of lighting a lamp and then hiding it in the basement where no one would benefit. A lamp belongs on a lampstand where all who enter may see its light. The eyes of your spirit allow revelation light to enter into your being. The eyes of your spirit allow revelation light to enter into your being. When your heart is open, the light floods in. When your heart is hard and closed, the light cannot penetrate and darkness takes its place. So open your heart and consider my words, Jesus said. Watch out that you do not mistake your opinions for revelation light. If your spirit burns with light, fully illuminated with no trace of darkness, you will be a shining lamp, reflecting rays of truth by the way you live. Isn't that great advice? Of course, we would expect that from Jesus. Don't mistake your opinions, what you think is true based on appearance or religion's teaching. Always go with revelation light, straight from the source, Christ, light in you. Let his light shine as you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk some more about light tomorrow. See you then.